Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Hopefully, you're having an absolutely wonderful Wednesday. I know I did. It absolutely just flew by like crazy, crazy, crazy fast. So, a couple of very, very quick things. One, tonight, right after this live, basically roughly about 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to be going live inside the Simple Four-Step System group, which I'm going to share a link for you here in just a minute. I'm going to be going live in that group to show you how I use Google Docs Sheets as a semi-automatic follow-up system to help me get sales every day. So very, very cool system. You definitely want to jump in. If you're not a member in that group, recommend, I'm going to share the link here in just a minute, recommend you jump in that group if you want to check out that training. It's going to be very, very cool. It's sort of getting into the geeky side of what I like to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about the mindset of follow-up. Then I'm actually going to go in and show you the actual Google Doc sheet that I use, the Google Doc sheet that I use, and I'll also give you an opportunity to actually download it. It's all set up with all the formulas and everything, so all you've got to do is be able to fill in the blanks. So very excited about that. If you'd like to join that group, let me know. We'll get you that set up here. I'm going to share the link in just a minute. So I want to go through these 6 steps here really quick with you. And I really like doing this because this is sort of part of my mindset growth hack, if you want to call it that, that I'm sharing, that I'm going through. And my goal, 6 steps for being a confident speaker. One of the things that that I put on my goal list, or my want to do in my life list, is to be a speaker, be somebody like a Tony Robbins, or somebody that gets up in front of a crowd of people and shares knowledge and inspiration and that kind of stuff. So anyway, so let's talk about these 6 traits of a I guess you want to call it, to be a more confident speaker, is what we're looking at. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a social media marketing strategist. I love helping people succeed online. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be a legacy creator. And I hope you are too. So let's talk about this very, very quickly. 1, stop trying to be somebody else. Don't be a Forrest. You just have to be you. You can, if you're funny, be funny. If you're informal, be informal. There is no one right way to be a great speaker. Rather than a performance, think of it as sharing your ideas and experience to help others. Now, it does help if you go through some speaking coaching and things like that. It's a whole nother training. But I've seen many interesting people put on a mask when they walk in front of a room. If you communicate very differently as a speaker than when you're talking with your coworkers, you may have on your speaker disguise. Let yourself shine through. All the evidence will connect you with all the flaws and all. So just be you, basically. Just have fun. I have fun. I love doing my radio voice sometimes. I really enjoy just being up and teaching and educating and doing that. And it takes a lot of work. I actually, when I was in the Navy, went through an instructor training course ended up being the Naval Gunfire Support Instructor for the entire Pacific Fleet for many years when I worked for Fleet Training Group, which was absolutely a lot of fun. But I went through a 6-week course. They taught you how to be an instructor. They taught you how to stand up in front of a room and deliver information, which was very cool. And of course, you had to talk to the room. You had to look at the room. You never turned your back to them when you were speaking. You learned how to move across the room. You learn how to fluctuate your voice and go up tones and down tones and move people through the room so that you can make talking points, right? So number 2, don't look for approval. Focus on contributing. And this is very, very important. In your lives, when you're doing your Facebook Live, you're putting out content. It needs to provide value. Now, if you're a Kardashian or somebody famous, you just got to get up and talk about whatever. You're going to get a lot of followings. But again, my goal is always to provide value, right? And of course, like this live, is to provide value. So if you've ever been at a point where it's like, man, how do I speak to people? What do I say to people? What do I talk about? People ask me a lot. It's like, what do I talk about? Anything that you like, go Google it. Find some articles and start talking about them. Whole other training. We'll talk about that maybe later in the week here. So this is don't look for approval. Focus on contributing. If you have your mind on what I want to be good at, then you will stay inwardly focused. Instead, think about helping everyone else, the audience members. See a familiar topic. Look for great ideas. Maybe you have a friend that talked about something. Go research it. Bring up the topic and talk about it. You might even have a friend that you know that's very, very good in the subject matter. So this is where it gets really deep. You bring them on and be a guest speaker on your Facebook Live, and share the content with them. And then when you get really good at that, they say great leaders ask good questions. I think, or is it good leaders ask great? I think it's good leaders ask great questions, or it's great leaders ask good questions. This is a book out there, one way or another. Somebody can look it up. So, do you want to make an impact? And that's what it's always about, is making an impact. Number 3, practice a lot. The best way to get good at doing Facebook Lives is to get on here and do a Facebook Live, right? I wish there was an easier way, but I haven't found one. I started doing videos many years ago, and I just get on here and I have a lot of fun. And of course, it's nice if you have nice lighting set up, you have a cool green screen behind it to do all that kind of stuff. You have good speakers, you have a good camera so that's not freaking out. I'm actually looking at some mics. I was looking at this really cool microphone that's going to kill a lot of the noise in here. I'm going to put up a screen behind here so I don't get a lot of echoing going back and forth, because my goal is to deliver better content. That's me. So again, that's still me. That's what I like to do. That's what I enjoy. Watch TED Talks. Man, oh man, oh man. I was actually watching a TED Talk about the guy that lost both of his legs. I can't remember his name, but he lost both of his legs. He was a mountain climber, and he actually caused him to start inventing new prosthetics. And he was talking about the robotic legs they had. Man, it was the coolest TED Talk. I saw it today. It was just up, and I can't remember his name, but he's talking about prosthetics and how he's talking about the mindset of don't let your situation limit where you're at. Man, you talk about fired me up. It was a very short one. I think I just caught part of it, but it was very inspiring. There are tens of thousands of TED Talks. Recommend Simon Sinek's the Why talk that he does is fire cool. I'd recommend going watching that. TED Talks is some very good information on there. Number 5, video yourself speaking. When you do a Facebook Live, go watch it afterwards. Watch where you look, watch what you say, watch how you move your tones. If you have a camera, if you're using an iPad or an iPhone, make sure you look at the camera, not up here. You'll notice I look directly at the camera, so I'm looking at you. If I look over here and I'm reading something, I'll let people know, hey, I'm going to look over here and read something. And I have that right now. I have my notes directly underneath the camera, so you'll see my eyes move down just a little bit. Now everybody's going to start looking at it. His eyes are moving. Where are they going? And I'm going to look down just a little bit to read my notes. So make sure that you video yourself talking. Also, it's very good if you're leaving phone messages. This is a phone calling tip. Listen to your voice messages and listen to your voice tone. Make sure that you're clear and concise when you talk on the phone. For example, if I'm calling and leaving somebody a message, I'll say, hey, Glow, this is Forrest over at XYZ PDQ Company. The reason I'm calling you, right? The reason I'm calling you is da-da-da-da-da. When you get a moment at your earliest convenience, I do that. At your earliest convenience, give me a call back at 314-498-7688. Again, that's 314-498-7688. I look forward to talking to you, Glow. Have a great day. Bye-bye. So I leave, and I do that on my phone. I've heard some people leave some phone messages. I could not understand what they were saying if my life depended on it. Again, it's talking and using voice inflections is very important, and you can have a lot of fun doing that. So number 6, know your content cold, right? Know your content cold. Now this is for being professionals and speaking in front of a group. What we teach in Rank Makers and what we teach as coaches and what we teach for going lives is to let people know you're reading content. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be good at finding content and delivering value. So you don't have to, there was absolutely no way I was going to sit up and memorize this content that I just delivered you in the 4.5 minutes before I found it to deliver you the content. Now, when I go live in the group tonight, that's my expertise. I know how to do that stuff. So I don't have to study it. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to run through it because I've been building websites and blogging and posting and marketing forever. So when I go into the group, I'm going to be a little bit more of an expert, but I'm going to teach a system on how to use Google Doc Sheets to make that work. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and share that right now. Bam. And there it is. There is the link. It just popped up there. If you'd like to join that group, make sure you click on that. It'll send an invite. I'll get you added to the group. And right after this live, you're probably right at the bottom of the hour or so. I'm going to, the video will be playing. The live will be playing inside the group. I'm probably going to start a watch party in there because I got something else I got to do. But it's really awesome information. It's ready to go. So I'm going to share that into a watch party inside that group. You can check it out. Definitely go get in there and watch that. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be a legacy creator. I hope you are too. We'll see you this evening. Bye-bye.